Today I'm going to talk about the power of discovering and then living in your specific or core genius. Everybody, and I mean everybody in this world, has something that they can offer that they are literally much better at than other people. Everybody has a core genius. The problem is many people spend most of their lives living in and focused on in their businesses and jobs that don't take advantage of or maximize this core genius. Einstein said, everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it's going to live its whole life believing that it's stupid. Some of you know what your core genius is, and some of you may still be waiting to discover it. It's always something you enjoy doing and even really love doing. When you work or operate in your specific genius, it's effortless. Time disappears. In fact, sometimes you disappear. It's the thing that you do if you could make money at it, and would probably do it for your entire lifetime. Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, has a great book, especially if you have children, titled Rich Kid, Smart Kid, that also talks about how every child has a specific genius. We all do. I happen to be great at creating systems and mapping out businesses, and I'm very good at taking big things and making them smaller. Pablo Picasso said, "The meaning of life is to find your gift, and the purpose of life is to give it away." And that quote literally applies to every one of you. You must find your core genius, that special skill that you can incorporate into the different aspects of your life that'll help you reach your success more quickly while you're having more fun and enjoyment. Tapping into your special genius and working at something that allows you to maximize it it's a sure recipe for success. All the successful people that I know focus on and maximize their strengths, i.e. their special genius, and then bring people into their team that can supplement, the other areas of their businesses. Let me give you a larger example of what I'm talking about with your core genius. Tony Robbins, in his business mastery course, he talks about 3 archetypes in every business. That these are like 3 traits or abilities that are in every one of us, but typically one of these traits is more pronounced and more prevalent than the others. And these 3 archetypes are, there's the entrepreneur, there's the manager, leader, and then there's the artist or skilled producer. Now the artist or skilled producer, they're the talent. They're the ones that create and innovate. An example would be like the technological engineers or software developers in Silicon Valley you hear about. Now the entrepreneur, on the other hand, they're the visionary. They have the high tolerance for risk so that they can handle the ups and downs of starting and running a business, and they find and manage the manager leaders for the business. But they have that shiny penny syndrome, and they typically like to go start something else or get out of the business after it's up and running successfully. Now the manager or leader is great at managing, like the artist, the skilled producer, and helps in meeting their needs, and they're a great people person. They're not necessarily visionaries, and they don't necessarily have the strong leadership skills like an entrepreneur, but they're great with people. Now each one of us is stronger in one of these 3 areas. And now this is a macro example, of people that work in their specific genius. When those billion-dollar venture capital funds invest in Silicon Valley startups, they'll typically bring in the entrepreneur personality or the manager leader personality and the COO and the CEO to help the artist inventor run their business and ensure that their investment in that business is going to be a home run. They want to be sure that the artist inventor is going to have the resources to make their business a success. Now if you're an artist or a skilled producer or what we call an innovator or inventor, or just incredibly creative, and you want to start a business, you'd be well suited to align yourself with other people that embody those characteristics that I just talked about, the ones that you're not as strong in. Either bring them on your team or into your business, or delegate the work that you don't love. A famous example of an alignment like this would be Steve Jobs with Steve Wozniak in Apple. Wozniak was the tech nerd, the genius, and Steve Jobs is obviously the entrepreneur visionary. Now maybe you've heard of the Pareto Principle. It's basically also called the 80-20 rule, and that 80% of the outcome in your work comes from literally about 20% of what you do. To maximize that dynamic, you need to be working in your core genius. Whenever I force myself to do things that don't align with my gifts, it's not only frustrating, but I'm not very productive. There are a lot of things that I'm frankly terrible at and should stay away from, and I don't enjoy. So, I try to delegate or outsource or hire people that are good at these things, literally better than I am, and you should do the same. What are you doing right now that you could outsource to someone else that could do it cheaper and probably better than you could anyway? You should completely delegate as many things completely out of your life as you can so that they don't take away your energy. You'll be able to enjoy your life more and be much more productive. A lot of people feel like they're wasting their money to hire help for some of these things, but I ask you, what's your time worth? It's important for you to know that as you're thinking about the areas of your life that you really should delegate or outsource. If you're worth, say, $50 to $75 an hour, should you be mowing your lawn if you can hire somebody to do it for $8 to $10 an hour? Tim Ferriss, who's world famous for his book, The 4-Hour Workweek, goes into the, delegating and outsourcing in great detail. So, think about some of the things that you could delegate and get off your plate so, you can focus on what you're great at. So you can focus on your core special genius. Many people are stuck doing things they don't enjoy and frankly aren't that good at. You need to literally be fearless in your pursuit of finding out what sets your soul on fire. So what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What do you love doing? What's something you're proud of? What makes you stand out? This genius can be everything from skills to talents to abilities to even your attitude. What are you passionate about? When people discover their core genius, it's like a light bulb goes off. The world opens up. Anything's possible. So find or expand on your genius and start to live with even more incredible passion while you're on the road to massive success.